So for today's video, I am doing my eyebrow routine, basically talking about how I fill in my brows, what I do to upkeep them, and all that good stuff. Now, as you're probably noticing here, I probably look a little bit different mainly because I don't have my brows filled in, because my brows are really bold when they are filled in, and so I feel like I'm looking like weird without them filled in. Also, I don't have my winged liner on today. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it, so I decided to switch it up. I also have no bottom liner on. We're going real low maintenance today, but I will fill in my brows. That's the point of this video. I get compliments on my eyebrows all the time, and I realized I've never done a video showing you guys specifically how I fill them in. So if you're interested in seeing how I do that, just keep watching this video. Alright, so let's just zoom you in. Okay, so to fill in my brows, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. This is what it looks like. I'm sure you guys have heard a ton about this product here on YouTube. The one end has like the little spoolie, and then the other end has a really, really fine pencil that you use to fill in your brows, and you actually just like twist it. Oops. You actually just twist it out to get more product. So we're going to start off by showing you how I fill them in, and then we'll talk a little bit more just about maintaining them, how I feel about the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and all that. So we're going to start right here down on the bottom portion of the brow in the very, very corner. So we're going to draw a line along there. Okay, and then you're just going to follow that bottom portion of your brow. And I'm really going to focus in on the tail end over here. So as I drag back, then I start doing a couple other lines on the tail just to start filling it in. This is the thinnest part of the brow, so it's really, really quick to do this. If you want to make your brow a little bit longer, if you don't have as long of brows as I do, definitely just keep going and just following the line. So say your brow ends here, just keep dragging downward. Make sure you don't get too close to the eye. You just kind of want to maintain a good distance from your crease to your brow. So as you can see, it didn't really take a lot for me to fill in this little tail end over here. That part's essentially done. But now we have to go in and we're going to fill in the top portion. So I do the line on the bottom like I just said, and then we're going to do a line on the top and then fill it in. So once again, we're not going to start all the way out here this time like we did on the bottom. We're going to start right about here, right before the arch, and just drag it across, creating a line like so. So just, this is where you can really shape your brows. I have a really high arch. I like the high arch, but if you didn't want as high of an arch, you could just take your spoolie end, pull some of those little hairs down to make it less dramatic. So then we're just gonna fill in this tail end, still leaving this area blank. We'll deal with that in a minute, but we're just gonna fill in this area. So, and then you can always brush it out with your spoolie a little bit to get the hairs in place. And mine is probably looking very filled in back here. If you don't want as much of a filled in look, you can definitely apply less pressure on the brow pencil and just lightly put some product there, and then just really use the spoolie to blend it out. I like a kind of more bold brow, so that's why I apply a little bit more pressure and don't use the spoolie quite as much in this area. So now we're going to approach this area, which is where you can either basically have a hit or miss. If you apply way too much pressure, this is going to look super intense in here, and it may not go with the makeup you have on. So right now I have on an everyday makeup look. It's nothing intense. So while I did make the outer portion of my eyebrow intense, this inner portion, I don't want it to just be like I basically painted my brows on. I want them to look good and bold, but I want it kind of to be an ombre since this is an everyday look. I want it to be lighter and then progressively get darker as I get farther on the brow. So to do this, we're gonna apply less pressure, and we're basically just gonna start going up like this in really short little brush stroke motions. I'm applying very, very light pressure. And this is the part that's gonna take a while. It was really fast to do this outer portion because we didn't have to really focus on it. We just fill it in really fast. I applied as much pressure as I wanted, but now I want to be careful because I want this to be precise yet look more natural. It's funny because you think that the natural look would be faster and easier, but for me I actually find it harder. I guess that's because I tend to have a heavy hand. But I fill them in a little bit, and then we're going to spoolie up to just kind of get the product to blend upward. And just do it again. So you could leave your brow just like this, but I'm gonna apply a little bit of a line up here just because, like I said, I like them slightly bold, even if it's an everyday look, but not like, I don't fill them in as intense as I would if I was doing a night out look. So we're just gonna very, very lightly draw a line across the top here and connect it to what we had already drawn. But I'm definitely not applying as much pressure here as I did over here. So now that we have this line here, we have something to kind of go off of, and I'm gonna gently draw some brush strokes upward, ending right where that line is. Basically now this brow is filled in. As you can tell over here, it's a little bit, I guess I would describe it as rougher looking. It's not as filled in. If you want a nighttime kind of look, you're gonna wanna fill in this area as intensely as the outer portion because you're probably going to be wearing huge false lashes, and having that nice, really filled in brow is just going to complement it. So now that we've done this eyebrow, I'm just going to quickly go in and do the other one so then you guys can see the finished result. So then I've applied a dot of concealer right here, and I am stroking my brush up and then outlining my brows with it. We will clean this up in a minute, but this is just going to make sure that if you got any other brow pencil like a little bit off the edge of your brow, it's going to be cleaned up. You're not going to be able to see it, and the brow is just going to look even more defined. So to clean up this area, then you can just go in with another makeup brush, or you can go with a beauty blender. Today I'm just going in with this little baby beauty blender. So we're just basically just dabbing in small little motions. You do not want to rub or pull with the beauty blender. And this is just one of the micro ones. You can buy these in a set of 2, I believe, or you can buy them in a set. I had a set with the micro, the black beauty blender, and the pink one. So yeah, so after you do that, that just really defines the brows and cleans everything up. So it's really a good step to do. You don't have to do it, but I think it's definitely helpful. All right, so when that's done, this would be the completed filled in brow look. So I'm just gonna zoom you back out. Now I just want to talk for a couple minutes about the brows and all of that stuff. So like I said, I filled them in using the Anastasia brows. This is in the shade Taupe, which I believe is the lightest color they sell. I want to just real quick tell you guys that a common misconception involving this or any brow pencil is what color to choose. You want to choose a color that is lighter than the color of your hair. I was actually at an Ulta, and when I first bought this, the girl working at Ulta recommended a color that matched my roots, and which are quite dark compared to like the end of my hair and stuff. And that's wrong. You do not want to, because like my roots are pretty dark, and so when she just practiced doing it to show me what it would look like, it was way too dark and I looked just really weird. I say go lighter than your hair color. Obviously my brows are definitely lighter. It looks better. So that's a good recommendation for that. I will tell you guys, I love this Brow Wiz so much. I don't have plans to really switch to anything else. I would be interested in trying the Anastasia Brow Pomade. Probably, I think it comes in taupe too, so probably the same color. But I just love this so much that I don't know if I'll even try it. Like, why mess with something that just really, really works, right? I love that this has the pencil end and then the spoolie end. And the only kind of downside about these pencils are that they probably last about a month. They don't last a super long time. There's not a ton of product in them, or maybe it's just because I use it every single day and like my brows really intensely filled in back here, which means applying more pressure, which means using up more product. It's probably a combination of things, but I do go through one of these about every month, and I think they're $21. So a little bit pricier when you're buying them on a monthly basis, but there's just nothing that compares to these things. Like, I've tried other products and this is the absolute best. So I would definitely recommend trying one of these if you have never tried one. If there is another brow product that you absolutely love that you think, Kendall, you really need to try this, leave a comment down below and let me know. And then I want to talk about how I maintain my brows. So every 5 to 6 weeks, I get my brows waxed by a professional. I don't try doing it myself because I would probably have no eyebrows left if I did that. But I get them professionally waxed every 5 to 6 weeks. I actually just got it done today, so my brows are looking really good today, like no stray hairs or anything. But brow waxing can be expensive. It's about like 20 something every time I get them done. But I love getting it done. Like, it looks so good, and it looks good for quite a while after you get it done. I know some people are allergic to wax, so some people do the brow threading. I've never tried that. But that's the main part of how I maintain great brows. And then in between getting them waxed, as you start getting the little hairs and stuff popping up, I will tweeze them. I don't have my tweezers out to show you. They're just a regular pair of tweezers. They're not angled or anything. But my recommendation to you guys is do not over tweeze. I only tweeze the little hairs that kind of pop up in this area where I obviously like don't want any hair to be, where I'm blending out my eyeshadow. I do not tweeze any out of the main section here. One time I accidentally did because I was trying to get one hair that was kind of close to this bottom portion of my brow, and then I took a chunk of hair out on accident out of my brow, and it looked terrible for quite a few weeks. So my suggestion to you guys is, if you're getting your brows waxed but you want to maintain them in between, really just focus on getting those little hairs that pop up in the space where there shouldn't be any hairs. Don't try to pluck any out of your main eyebrow. And I'll also pluck if occasional little ones pop up slightly above the brow, once again, as long as they're not in the main lines of the brow. Then of course there comes the issue of, after a couple weeks after you've gotten them done, the hairs grow up front here. Now, it's not the case today. Obviously, I just got them done, but if it were to be that time where they had grown longer right in here, I just take these little pair of scissors here and I just go along following, because this part of my brow will pretty much stay the same because the hairs are growing more this way, but the portion where the hairs grow up, I just take these scissors and I cut, making sure that it's staying in line with the rest of my brow. So just like 1 or 2 cuts, then it's trimmed, and then your brows are back in action. So I feel like maintaining my brows is actually not very complex or anything, simply because I get them waxed. If I wasn't getting my brows waxed, it would be a ton more work, and this brow routine would be so long, even though it's already kind of long, but it would be so much longer. So yeah, those are my tips. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions about my brows, anything related to this video, leave a comment down below. If you want more of these videos where I show you individual parts of my makeup routine, like if you want an updated foundation routine, or you want an everyday mascara kind of routine, stuff like that, Leave a comment down below as well. I'm always looking for new video ideas. I mean, I have a huge list right now, but if you have a suggestion, I definitely will take it into consideration and most likely do a video specifically about that. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and as always, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Subscribing is free, and of course, I love getting new subscribers. It just continues to motivate me to produce these videos. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.